some raw almonds that I can then have with, some dried fruit or some of this, healthy, these great cheese.
We got dried fruit here, we got dried cranberries. Yeah, I will say I messed up on these dried cranberries. So these are organic cranberries, but they said apple juice infused and I didn't read the label. I was just like, oh, cool. Kate, but there's sunflower oil in these. Like, totally lame. So, Elisha, we are going to eat those. But
hey everyone, it's Katie and Elisha from NowThatWe'reAFamily.com. And Katie, what are we talking about today?
We're doing something a lot different than what we usually do. We've got a little table set up here, and we're gonna show you our Azure standard grocery haul. Elisha's here because we wanted to talk about how to get on the same page as your spouse when it comes to health. That's like really hard for me to say for some reason, but it really helps when you're on the same page, especially when it comes to something like buying a block of raw cheese, for instance. A block of cheese that is not raw is going to be a third of the price as a block that is raw. So when your husband is seeing the grocery order, or if the wife is like wanting to, maybe the husband's trying to influence the wife to buy groceries differently, like it really helps to be on the same page, to know why you're buying, what you're buying, and to feel like you're a team on this and it's not something that's causing a lot of friction.
Yeah, I've come to a place where I feel so abundantly blessed by Katie's intentionality in bringing healthy ingredients into our home. If I were to have heard 2 or 3 years ago what like this block of cheese was going to cost us, I would have been like, yeah, right. What do you think money? What do you think we're made of here? I'm not made of money. We've just got to get calories in these kids' bodies, and we've got to be able to pay the bills. But over time, Katie has really educated me, and I've made the intention of educating myself when it comes to nutrition and the efficacy of various ingredients and just the importance of it in overall vitality and health. And now I'm at a place where the first place I want to invest my dollar, the first place I want to spend money is into our health. And Katie has really spearheaded that, and I've come on board, and I could not be more grateful for her intentionality in this area of our life.
Yeah, I think we kind of view the food that we buy as preventative health care, just like the supplements we take are preventative health care. We'd rather invest money here than after the fact with prescriptions or things like that. And I think our kids were a big driver for this. And yes. I read Deep Nutrition first. And then you read Deep Nutrition.
Yes. Yeah, I think the 2 books that really got me completely on board with investing a lot of money into our groceries was Deep Nutrition by Dr. Catherine Shanahan, and then the second book was called Dirty Genes by Dr. Ben Lynch. And these books really opened me up to what's happening in our bodies when we put various ingredients into our bodies. One, from a negative standpoint, when the toxins that are in our everyday food enter our body, what that's doing to our overall health and the long-term ramifications that show themselves in chronic diseases. And then the Dirty Genes book really inspired me for our children, because I realized, we've probably all heard it said that a huge percentage of chronic illnesses are from they're genetic. And I was like, well, that just is what it is, right? You're dealt whatever hand you're dealt. Well, then Dirty Genes goes into detail on how we're actually able to create new genes based off of our diet and our lifestyle. Now, I won't see that in my life. So I'm not gonna see my genes change, but I'm able to pass on different genes, healthier genes to my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. So when I started thinking multi-generationally and I was able to get over myself and how I wanted to spend, you know, the extra money in my personal life, and I was able to start thinking about my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren and what I could do for them by what I eat today and the lifestyle I have today, then it really motivated me to invest money into this area of my life.
Yeah, so there's basically 3 things we look for. First off, it's just if you can make it yourself and it doesn't have a bunch of different ingredients, then that's awesome. Like that's your ultimate goal because you know what was in the product and you know you mixed it with another product and you ended up with whatever it is. But then the other 2 things we're looking for are a lack of sugar, like hidden sugar in things, and then a lack of oils hidden in things. And so those are 2 things that we're trying to cut out when it comes to buying foods that are already pre-made for us, at least trying to eliminate one or both of those 2 things. So you want to like talk about this giant bag first?
No, you need to talk about this because when this was delivered to our home, I first asked Katie what it was and she told me, what's it called, Katie?
Einkorn.
Einkorn. I was like, what type of corn is einkorn? She said, it's not even a corn. So can you explain to us why I think it's called einkorn and what it is?
I think it's just fun to say einkorn, but these are einkorn berries. And because our son has to eat mostly gluten-free, well, this is actually,
I can't even see this.
Okay, I actually made a mistake in this purchase, Elisha.
Oh, I know, that's right. Oh, that's right, that's right.
I thought I was buying einkorn berries, which is what I usually buy. I'm gonna tell you about those first. So because our son is gluten intolerant or whatever, we ended up starting to make sourdough. But sometimes like when I just make waffles or I make muffins or I wanna make something fast and easy and right away, I can't make it with the all-purpose flour or whole breakout. And so einkorn has a very low, it's the only grain that is non-hybridized, and so it has a very low rate of gluten in it. And so I just grind this in our wheat grinder and I can make whatever right then. I made a mistake because I bought literal einkorn seeds, like they're unhusked. So either I have to figure out how to husk this stuff or I have to plant our backyard in einkorn.
Like
so
going one by one and husking these things, like taking the skin off corn is gonna take a while, I think.
We were reading about how they did this process in Little House on the Prairie, and I was like, that is a lot of work. So I don't know, we'll see what ends up happening. Hey you guys, I just wanted to tell you real quick about my homeschooling course, Homeschooling the First 3 Years. It's all about laying a foundation of joy and confidence and fun and simplified homeschool in your home. So if you're in a place where maybe you're considering homeschooling your kiddos in the next few years, then this course is for you. It's going to break down not only what we do for homeschool in our family and what we've done for the first 3 years in homeschool, but it's also going to show you exactly how that looks. So I'm going to take a camera around with me vlog style and show you how does it look to homeschool with a baby? How does it look to homeschool with a toddler? How does it look to homeschool multiple grades at one time? How do you navigate different learning tendencies? How do you navigate your learning style as a teacher? And how do you motivate children and get them to love learning? I love homeschooling my kids. One of my favorite things that I get to do with them each day, and it's something that I want you to love doing with your children as well. So if you look down in the description box, you will be able to find a discount code where you can get a discount off of homeschool the first 3 years, and I really hope that it blesses your home. We'll get from Azure all our brown rice pastas. So we can get these at our grocery store, but they're a lot more expensive when they are bulk. So these are spaghetti noodles. You want to show them the spaghetti noodles?
Yeah, I'd love to show them the spaghetti noodles.
Okay, what do you think about these though?
Yeah, so here's the deal.
Give me your take on these because you like white pasta.
Yeah, I like all of the things that we're trying to eliminate from our diet. You know, flour, like you said, white pasta, lots of sugars. That stuff's fun, right? It's fun to eat like a big bowl of fettuccine alfredo with pasta in it. And so I was a little reluctant, especially when it came to pastas and breads. I would say I was reluctant. However, I will tell you this: the jovial gluten-free pastas are delectable.
They really are.
They are.
They don't turn mushy. Like we tried chickpea pasta first, nasty. We tried this red lentil pasta, nasty. Like it doesn't even taste like pasta. And then people say like, oh, you could use spaghetti squash. And it's like, Okay, but it tastes like spaghetti squash. It's not pasta. Like, so we get big boxes of these. I didn't pull out the boxes of everything we got because we just have a lot. We buy in bulk. So the thing that we got was the raw walnuts.
Yeah, and these are great. I've been a snack guy since forever. And so when we got married, I would have like kettle barbecue potato chips. I would have a lot of crackers, you know, like Ritz crackers or wheat thins, always around the house. And I'd eat those with cheese. And these have been the best substitute that I've been able to find when it comes to taste and obviously nutritional benefit. So having some raw walnuts, some raw almonds that I can then have with, you know, some dried fruit or some of this, you know, healthy, these great cheese.
We got dried fruit here. We got dried cranberries.
That's a great go-to snack for me because I'm a snacker.
Yeah, I will say I messed up on these dried cranberries. So these are organic cranberries, but they said apple juice infused, and I didn't read the label. I was just like, oh, cool. Okay, but there's sunflower oil in these. Like, totally lame. So Elisha, we are going to eat those.
Yeah.
But that's something that we've done that the kids have really liked. Okay, so let's go on to 9-grain mix. Elisha loves hot cereal.
I don't, but I'm so grateful that Katie loves hot cereal and that she's passed that love for hot cereal on to our children, and that you've got such a healthy solution to the hot cereal cravings you have.
So you can put 9-grain mix. This does have wheat in it, but you can put the 9-grain mix in bread, so I'll put it in our sourdough, kind of mix it up. You can eat it as a hot cereal. How you teach your kids to love hot cereal is it's all about variety. If you give them oatmeal every single day for a month, they're gonna hate oatmeal, like they just will. We've got spelt flour. Okay, you guys, tell me why I should buy spelt flour. I bought spelt flour because everyone I know is like, oh, I put spelt flour in my bread. So I was like, okay, I'll try it. So I got it. I don't know if this makes me healthier or less healthy.
What the heck? I thought you did more research than this, Katie, babe.
It just sounds cool. Like, oh yeah, and then I put some spelt flour in there. Like, there's gotta be a benefit to it. I just don't know what it is yet.
But you are kind of, when you say things like that, that's the thing that gets under my skin, and husbands can probably relate. It's like you sell this thing like you do all this research, you know, on the health benefits and the value and the taste, and then you say something like that, and I've got to question all of your purchases now.
I think you should trust my honesty because I'm saying that I'm honest. I don't know why I got that. It's an experiment.
Yes.
See?
Yeah, we'll see how.
See?
There you go. Okay.
Okay. All right. Then we've got, okay, this is another one that I have to just admit. Okay. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, baking soda. So I heard someone say that you shouldn't use Arm & Hammer baking soda for baking. I have no clue if that's true or not. Obviously, people bake with it all the time. It's technically food grade, but I don't love what the FDA decides is food grade. And so...
Is it like bleached or something?
I don't know. I tried to research it before we came here and I didn't come away with any great answers. But I will say this. I won't say this. I sound like a total conspiracy theorist. When you Google certain things into Google, it only gives you the answers that they want to promote. They'll tell you why homogenization is healthy and stuff like that. And I just can't buy it, or why GMOs aren't bad for you. I have to go to DuckDuckGo or something to get real answers. So I'm gonna go down my conspiracy hole and I will come back when I've got a tinfoil hat answer for you. Okay.
Well, no, that's not a conspiracy. It's you look at what's most available information-wise and just ingredients-wise, and you know it's not benefiting your long-term health or your short-term health for that matter. And so you've got to be countercultural. You've got to figure out your own methods, your own systems in order to educate yourself and buy ingredients that actually serve you and your household.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. You know and love. Wait, what?
That's the case with so many things, and I think that looking at food ingredients really is indicative of I think how we should be looking at our family in general, realizing we've got to go out of our way to build the home and the culture in our home that we want. It's not going to come easily, it's not going to come naturally, because what comes easily and naturally are the ways of the world and the ways of secular society, and none of those things are beneficial to a Christian family, towards what we see as being healthy for our family, what the Bible promotes. And so this is just like one little illustration of, I see it just the same way as I see like the literature we're letting into our house, or whatever media might come into our home, or it's the same thing. Like, we've got to be so vigilant and we've got to be so intentional, because what's naturally going to come into our home is not lifting us up at all or pointing us in the direction that we want to be going.
That's good. That is really good, Elisha. You're right. So can you tell us about grass-fed butter?
Oh, isn't it
I
so?
know you know
it's so good.
like this.
It's so good. But I was pretty devastated, because we were using what was the stuff? You know, the
Kerrygold.
Yeah, Kerrygold. You know, like
it
that's
is
the
really
go-to.
good.
So good. Oh, yeah. You can put that stuff on if you got enough money. You can put that stuff on everything. You know, and it's so good.
Kind of ration the butter if
Yeah.
it's Kerrygold.
But then we talk about rumors. You know, we heard Kerrygold wasn't really like actually living up to the standards that they were promoting. So you just can't trust anybody these days, I tell you what.
So we decided to try out a different version of grass-fed butter. I'll be honest, this stuff is not as yellow as Kerrygold's. It's not as rich as Kerrygold. So I got to do a little bit more research on that, because honestly, I love Kerrygold's better. But I did like that these farms, the Grazier, is that how you say it?
Great.
Grass-fed farms, they have less than 3 cows an acre. And the nice thing about stuff like that, it's grass-fed obviously, is you aren't dealing with the stress hormones of cows that are packed in really tight areas, and then they don't have to have as many antibiotics, and then that's not going into their milk and coming to us. I think that when it comes to dairy product, really animal products in general, we've got to be, that's like where you have to be the most hyper aware of all the stuff coming into the animals' bodies or then coming out. Like, that's what we're eating.
Yeah.
So if the animals are stressed and dirty and eating bad food, then that's like gonna come out in what we're eating. I think often we think of produce and like, oh, there's like pesticides and chemicals sprayed on our apples or whatever. But like, when it comes down to it, the hormones and antibiotics and stress that's all in the animals and animal products we eat are probably a bigger deal than the stuff on our fruits. Okay, then we got this giant block. We actually got 2 of these raw cheddar cheese from the same farm that does the grass-fed butter that we got. And I love this cheese.
Yeah, it's good.
It's really good.
I think it's good, yeah.
And I really wanted to go to raw cheese that's not like okay, you go to like Natural Grocers or something, and it's like you get this tiny little thing. And it's just not realistic for a large family that goes through a ton of cheese. But I will say this, cheese is like liquid gold.
Yeah, well, and you know, as I'm looking at this honestly cost us a small fortune. And I broke
Do you
into,
remember how much was it?
I broke into a cold sweat when I saw.
I think it was we could tell them the average number of what it was. Like 900, 600.
$600.
I think it was like $650.
Yeah, and so hopefully that lasts us for another 4 years, right? You know, this has been a process for us. So, you know, I go back to our first like month of marriage, and we were trying to figure out a budget, and you're like, what was our weekly grocery budget?
I could do $75 a week.
A week for groceries, and that was like we were like making that work. We had to make it work. But over time, we had goals. It's like, okay, let's see if we can change out, you know, we can get some grass-fed butter. Like, let's just start with that being a goal to get to grass-fed butter, and then organic cheese and so on and so on. Because obviously, you like, if you go straight organic from conventional, that is like a huge jump. But I think when you've got the long-term goal to get there, you can start piecing it together, just one carrot at a time. Because boy, I tell you what, if you just like, we've got 1 carrot for every 10 conventional carrots. That's kind of how we had to want an organic carrot.
No.
So.
And it really does come down to how you cook too. Are you cooking with a ton of meat? Are you cooking with a ton of dairy? Those are going to be your most expensive ingredients. So if you have a lot of fruits and vegetables in there, then you end up using less of those expensive ingredients. Okay, we did get this giant box. These are so good. The kids were just begging me for more of organic Fuji apples.
Those things.
They're
Look
giant.
at the size of that guy.
So you've got to slice them up, but I was super happy with the produce. I just got this big bag of organic carrots because the kids use them as snacks all the time.
Yes, this is a great, listen, I tell you what, when we're able to have a supply of easy, like
Fruits and veggies.
Yeah, grab and go snacks for the kids on hand, that sets the standard for them, it sets the expectation, and it also streamlines our life too, when they just know where they can grab an apple, they can grab a carrot, they can grab a bell pepper to snack on. And we're forming their appetites as we've talked about. Like that is their idea of a snack, which I'm really pumped about.
Yeah, I think like so often as moms we want like easy snack foods, and that's where we end up going to a lot of prepackaged stuff, because like you can't just like make a scratch snack all the time, you know, that your kids are hungry. So fruits and vegetables, like that's as easy as it gets. Go get a banana, go get an orange, go get an apple, munch on that, or cut a slice of cheese, and you're good to go.
Yes, that's right.
So, okay. Oh, something we don't have out here, we're getting down to the bare bones. So you guys, we decided to do this Azure haul after we'd already had our groceries for like 4 days, and apparently we went through a lot of them already. Have these like half bags of cereal. So, for frozen fruit, I didn't bring the frozen fruit because obviously we didn't want it thawing here, but I got big, I think there are 5-pound boxes of frozen cherries, frozen blueberries, frozen mangoes, and frozen strawberries. So those are things that we put in smoothies in the mornings. Those are also my evening snack. When I'm trying to get away from ice cream.
Yeah, Haagen-Dazs. Yeah.
Frozen tasty things. Frozen fruit, like it's not like a bad substitute. There's no comparison. Or there is a what am I trying to say? Ice cream doesn't tempt me any more than frozen fruit does. If I have a lot of frozen mangoes or frozen cherries in the fridge, that's a treat. And
Nice.
so I love doing that. And if it's just like a really extra special treat, pour some raw milk on there. And I love that.
Wow, I love it. Just like we've talked about with becoming more screen-free, you need to have something that you're going to fill that time with. Same with if you're going to start eating healthy, you've got to be proactive on what you're going to do in that snack time or when you've got that craving. Because it's not like those cravings are just going to stop. Like you got to be ready for when that craving comes, and it's got to be on hand. It's got to be easy.
Honestly, like when I'm pregnant and breastfeeding, which is most of my life these days, I need to eat in the evenings or I don't make it through to the morning. I end up getting up at like 2 in the morning and going
She
and
doesn't-
getting the
Yeah, you don't
snack.
die. You just like, you get nauseous. You have to get out
It's a miracle I'm still here. Yeah, so I do need to eat something in the evenings. When it comes to, let's do cold cereal real quick.
Great.
So cold cereal is something, we might have it on Sabbath if I haven't had time to prep something for the morning. We also have it on birthday mornings, and so we've had 3 birthdays in the last week.
Yes.
Mine and 2 of our sons, and so that is where this cold cereal is coming in. This is a really, really good cold cereal. I feel like it's very affordable for what you get. It's basically like cornflakes, like a cornflake knockoff, but there's no oil and they're sweetened.
Wait, are you talking about?
No.
You're trying to talk about these ones.
This is corn flour. These are.
Those are. You're talking about these ones.
Thank you.
Wow.
Quality control boy. Thank you. These guys, they're sweetened with pear juice concentrate, which, you know, I mean, it's a form of sugar, but that's great. And there's no oil. So this is my favorite, the fruit juice cornflakes.
Nice.
And for a big family, it's a big bag, which is nice. Like you buy those little bags of things and they just go away. Oh, get the cereal you bought.
Oh. What is this? Shame the husband time?
No, I wanted to show them like a comparison. Like this is a joke of healthy. Like it's basically like the whole greenwashing thing where it's like organic and like the farmland and like all these things. Like you feel better about it versus buying like Captain Crunch or something. And there's no dye, but there is cane sugar and sunflower oil and, you know, just.
Yeah, well, I got this because the kids are having a birthday, and so.
Yeah, it was a birthday cereal. It's fine. It's great. The point is that not all cereals that look the same and have the same packaging have the same ingredients. So it's worth looking at the label. This one here has sugar in it, but no oil. So again, I'm happy with that one stuff. Those are kind of our go-tos when it comes to cold cereal. And the kids really don't know what a Fruit Loop tastes like. They don't know at all what a Fruit Loop tastes like. So they aren't disappointed when that comes out. Okay, talking about like prepackaged stuff that makes your life easier. Annie's mac and cheese, anybody? That stuff's amazing. We've got a box to show you. Yes. So we're using up the last of our Annie's mac and cheese. I heard about this from my sister-in-law, and Azure actually has this cheddar cheese powder. And when you go through, it doesn't have a lot of the things that are in the back of Annie's as far as like anti-sticking agents or some of those things that are just extra and unneedful. Even if you're going for a pre-made for you product, it's nice when you know what all the ingredients are and there's no like hidden chemicals in there. And so anyways, I'm really happy with the cheddar cheese powder. What I also love about it is I can use our brown rice noodles, which Annie's gluten-free mac and cheese, their noodles are nasty.
Yeah, they are.
They really are. Like our kids won't eat that kind. And so we end up getting the other kind and then Louis breaks out. So it's just really a sad story for everybody. So this still makes my life easy. I put some butter, Greek yogurt, raw milk in a pan, pour this in there and then get it heated up with the brown rice noodles.
Sounds awesome.
It is so good.
Yeah.
I had it for lunch. Could eat it for dinner. Something we also don't have out here is our milk. Milk, okay. A lot of people have allergies when it comes to milk, and sometimes it's hard to find like a raw milk source near you where it still has all those enzymes and bacteria and it can help break down the actual milk in your gut. Homogenization is so bad because, just look it up, okay? Look it up. So I really don't like to give our kids
Go. Yeah.
homogenized milk, especially when they're little and their digestive systems are still forming. And so milk is one of those things that is outrageously expensive. And I would rather opt for like hot cereal without milk or eggs or something like that versus consistently doing day after day milk that is wrecking their digestion. And so we pay a lot for milk. I just heard of a gal locally that is selling her milk for $6 a gallon.
Do not, that's like, I feel like that's insider trading information there. You cannot let that
I'm not giving our number.
out.
I'm not giving our number. But that is unreal, you guys, because we have paid $24 for 1 gallon of milk. Like, but I mean, when it comes down to it, like, at the end of the day, if our kids end up with a milk allergy, they won't be drinking milk anyways. So I'd rather just them not have it or have something that's not gonna hurt them in another way, you know?
Yeah.
So it's something that's kind of how I justify it. Milk's kind of like a treat around our house. It's not this staple that they're just drinking all the time, unless I can get a hold of this lady and
Buy her out. Yeah.
buy her out. I really want a milk cow again one day. Clara Bell was good to me in high school. And guys, she'd give us like 4 or 5 gallons of milk a day. We just drank that stuff. Like,
willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly. Anyways, so this milk, it's still pasteurized, but when I'm not able to find raw milk, it's better to me than the homogenization. It still separates, you get the cream on top, you still have a lot of the, you still have some good healthy bacteria and enzymes in there, and it hasn't gone through that homogenization process. But again, I think this is about $24 for a gallon. So you just kind of close your eyes on that one. Okay. This is random. I was gonna try this. I'm always looking for like good beef sausages,
Yeah.
you know, that don't have a bunch of junk mixed in there with them. And then when I got these, and it was like the cutest little mini pack of sausages ever. Like, they're like 3 inches long. So anyways, I don't know if that's gonna
so
be
this is
worth it.
venison and beef. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Fun.
Yeah, so.
The review will be coming shortly.
Yeah, and then the last thing we have to show for you guys is our tortillas. I just got these bulk at Azure. Obviously, you could buy these a lot of different places. No oil, no sugar. I actually really like these. They're really nutty. If you don't want a super like nutty flavor with some of the foods that you're eating, then the cassava tortillas are really good as well. I love buying those when they're on sale.
We already mentioned, but I'm kind of a crybaby when it comes to tortillas.
Yeah.
And so I do actually, the cassava, I'll eat those. But a lot of times,
You don't like these.
I don't. I'll
He
just
doesn't like
end
the
up
sprouted ones.
bypassing the tortilla altogether. And
But
just,
honestly, the kids and I are more the ones who do like tortilla and cheese or bean burritos or stuff like that during
Yes.
we're eating tortillas a lot more consistently. If we're doing like fajitas one night, I'll usually like the cassava tortillas or these for the kids and I, and then I'll buy flour tortillas for Elisha. Like, he's a full-grown man, flour tortillas are gonna kill him.
well, yeah. I still want to be a good example to my children. Feel a little bit hypocritical when I
They
eat
don't
that
really
flour
care
tortilla.
though. You know what I mean? They like these.
Yeah, but they might someday.
That's true. You train them from youth. Just give them what you want them to like, and then they don't know any different. Okay, and then the other thing is, these are great organic corn tortillas. They just have corn, water, and a trace of lime. Gotta love that lime trace in there. So basically, again, no oils, and you aren't dealing with GMO corn. And anyways, I just got these in bulk. So those are our tortillas. Tortillas, pasta. I feel like we covered all the really big bases. Those are the things we try to sub out consistently, because those are the things that we eat, like those are staples. We eat them all the time, and it just feels like that compounding effect over time is going to happen. And honestly, a big thing for me, it might sound crazy, is just fertility for our children, because we just don't know the impact on our kids' fertility with all these things that we're supplementing with and experimenting with on their bodies. I feel like so many people in our generation are struggling with this already. And so anyways, it's just, food isn't the same that our moms bought back in the day. So on that note.
Folks, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. We'd love to hear how you're doing with your grocery hauls, where you're finding your organic food. So leave that in a comment below. And if you haven't subscribed, please do that as well, because...
Well, yeah. Sorry. Keep going. Oh, can you guys tell us what you guys like from Azure? Like, what brands do you feel like are worth buying from there? What brands do you buy somewhere else? Because I know they don't have the best prices on every brand. And also, there is a link down below if you want to shop at Azure and you've never shopped there before. It is an affiliate link, so we do get a kickback if you guys use that link. So, you know, if you got a friend or someone, you could use their link and support them, do that. But that link is down there if you guys want to go check out Azure Standard. You can keep going.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.